it's always people first, or the human first, because don't lay the emphasis on blindness, but lay it on the person. And I think that's something that we should do with all disabilities or everything out there, because it's so important that we address to everyone as people, because everyone is equal in that sense.
Hable.
A lot of people that join our company, or a lot of people that I talk to, one of their first questions they have is how do I speak with a person with blindness? How do I talk with them? Is it different than talking to others? Is it different talking online or over the phone with them? And my first answer is actually always no. It's actually completely the same, and you shouldn't really differentiate how you talk with them. A lot of people, they think they have to avoid words like did you see my last email, or did you watch this? But just use them because they're very normal in our language, and people with blindness or vision impairment use them as much as we do. So what I like to do, and I think what we all should do, is always refer to a person with blindness as a person with blindness, or people who are blind. It's always people first, or the human first, because don't lay the emphasis on blindness, but lay it on the person. And I think that's something that we should do with all disabilities or everything out there, because it's so important that we address to everyone as people, because everyone is equal in that sense. And another thing, when you talk with people who are blind and you talk about their blindness, there are very different responses. So actually most people I talk with, they're very light about it. They've been blind for a longer period, and they're very open to talk about it. Actually prefer it if you just talk about it. Don't keep the elephant in the room. Just speak about it, say how people feel about it. I know a lot of persons I've talked with, and they are quite funny. Like they really speak in a funny way about it. Say, yeah, well, I couldn't see that, but at least my hearing is much better than yours. And I think that's the most important thing. Just talk openly about it and respect whatever the other person says about it. It's always their choice if they're open or not, and you should just respect it. So I've talked to blind people both in person a lot and virtually, so using team calls or using the phone. And the biggest difference there, I think, is that in person, sometimes, especially for me, I have to explain often how a device works or how a keyboard works. And in person, it's quite easy, because you can ask people, hey, is it all right if I grab your fingers, or if I point to you where something is? Now, if you have to communicate virtually or over phone, that is a little bit more difficult, because you have to really think how you explain things. You cannot say, for example, when I would have an image, when I would be video calling, I cannot say it's over there. That doesn't work. You have to really say it's on your left, around 20 centimeters to your left. For Project Spring, which was something we did with Hable to test the Hable One devices, we had to do a lot of video calls with people with blindness. We did this because we couldn't visit their homes because of COVID, so we did everything online. And we had to do a video call because I had to see how they were using our device and if they were using it correctly. Now, there were a few challenges there, but mostly it was going quite well. So she came into the call and we had a nice conversation, and at some point asked, can you turn on the camera? And she didn't know how to do that. And after around, I think 10 minutes, because we explained everything, we learned that she actually didn't have a webcam, but she never knew because she had never used it. The next time I had someone that was very proficient and was able to use it really easily. I came into the call, he already had the camera on. I asked him, can you change the camera angle a little bit, so you kind of have to explain, go to the left, go to the right, so I can see the person's hands in using the device. But it's very easy if you just have a good communication how it works, and people are very willing to help out. So in this video I talked a lot about how you should talk with people with blindness, but I didn't really go into what you shouldn't say to someone with blindness. Now, a lot of people who are watching our videos have blindness or are visually impaired, and I'm very curious to hear what people have said to you that they really shouldn't have. So place it in the comments and let us know. We are very curious.